Alright, working on my 1992 Pontiac Firebird, and I got an issue going on. It's either with my battery or my alternator, and I'm going to show you guys actually how to check, of course both, but with a voltmeter. A lot of people don't know how to do this, but you should really know how to do this. It's pretty simple. So as you can see right now, I have my voltmeter, my DVM, connected directly to the battery. As you can see, I've got it right over here. I got these little side mount terminals, which is a real bummer. But anyway, you know, get it connected however you can, so you can constantly, you know, have your voltmeter in parallel with your battery, so you can see what the voltage is. Ideally, you want your voltage on a fresh battery to be about 12.67 volts. 12.5 is acceptable. You can see mine is kind of low. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the car on, and with the alternator running, of course, and we should see this go to ideally about 14.5, 14.6-ish. If it goes beyond that, then you've got a different issue. We're not even going to address that at this point, but that could be bad. But in this case, we're looking for, you know, 14.6-ish volts DC. And then we're going to put a load on it. So I'll turn the headlights on, the fog lights, I'll pump my stereo, put a load on this thing, and it should stay, you know, around 14 volts. And we're going to see what this does. And we're also going to look at the indicator on the dash of the Firebird here as well during this whole process. So that's our voltage with no load. I'm going to start the car up and we're going to see what we get. Meanwhile, you can take a look at how clean this is. I'm the original owner of this 1992 Pontiac Firebird. Check this thing out. I have meticulously maintained it. Oh yeah. It's got some nice foose wheels. This is the interior. So, you know, typical things to look at. We'll keep a close eye on the temperature. I had it running earlier, so, you know, it's a little over 100 right now, but I'll keep an eye on that. Voltage, I'm so used to this indicator, it's low already. So, you know, I can already tell I have something going on, either the battery or the alternator. I'm suspecting the alternator, but we're going to keep going with this. Got my stereo going, get that pumping, get the lights on, put the fog lights on. I did see some dimming when I put the fog lights on in here, so that's a good indicator. See already, look, we're down to 13 volts, which, yeah, that to me says I got something going on with my alternator. But let's check out the Flig voltmeter out front. All right, there we go. See, 13 volts. Yeah, this is under a load, but still, it should be around 14. We'll let this run for a few minutes, and if it continues to sink down, like into the 12 volt range, then for sure it's the alternator. Yeah, it's slowly starting to drop, so I suspect I have an alternator that is failing. No big deal. I've swapped this alternator out before, probably about 15 years ago. It's an easy job. There it is right there. Another thing that you can do I've done it before to check an alternator. It's a little dangerous, but while the car is running, be super careful and disconnect the positive side of your battery. If you do that and the car shuts off, then for sure it's your alternator. Because your alternator basically takes over. Once you get the car started and your alternator is spinning, it's providing, you know, all the voltage for the accessories of your vehicle. Your car is going to drive once you get it started. Mainly your battery is just to kind of get the starter motor going and to turn it and crank the engine over. Beyond that, your alternator pretty much takes over and does its thing with all the accessories. So yeah, anyway, I think I got a bad alternator. And that will affect the way that this car runs. This does have a computer in it, even though it's 1992 model. So, you know, when your alternator is not providing a proper voltage and charging your battery in the manner that it should, you know, it's going to misfire, could even backfire. It's not going to run. It's going to act like it doesn't have compression. So it manifests itself, your alternator issue will manifest itself like other issues. In fact, when I first started troubleshooting this a couple days ago, I was almost thinking that I had a more serious problem because it was blowing white smoke out the back. So anyway, ran it yesterday, ran it down the road. It seems to run fine. The temperature's solid. That's good. So that's the main thing too, is make sure you got coolant in this thing. Oil, of course, oil solid. But let's take another look at the indicators here, see what we got on the voltage meter in here. Yeah, see, it's pretty much matching what the what my voltmeter out front is saying. You know, it's 12 volts, it's below 13 volts, unacceptable. When this car is running properly, my voltage indicator is usually, looks like about 15 volts. It's in between the 13 and the 18, that little hash mark there. So what is that, 13, 14, 15? This thing runs around 14, 15, 16 on this indicator in here. Oil's fine, temperature's fine. For me, critical is, you know, getting up beyond the 220. But when I'm driving this thing, it rarely gets above 220. In fact, it stays right around the 200, 210 range. This car is just so damn cherry, man. I love it. Phenomenal shape, inside and out. That still works. Replaced that once, probably about 20 years ago. Yeah, this thing is awesome, man. It's like no one's ever even sat in the back seat before. Need to clean my windshield. Not sure what's going on there. It's pretty humid here in North Carolina today. Oh look, just over 100,000 miles on this Nug. Hell yeah. I got it all set up, Bluetooth, man. Did a lot of work to this thing. I have auto start, auto locks on this now. Everything is auto, and it's rad. Yeah, so as you can see, my alternator is not keeping my battery charged. So I definitely have an alternator problem. I'll be swapping that out. Anyway, hopefully this was helpful.